5 Madison Valley.
PT here, and I'm going to do a quick review of what it's like to produce in Venice. I was able to snag this trip by piggybacking off of a business trip that I needed to make and take a few days here. I'd been interested in this place because I was interested in walkable cities after going to Southeast Asia, then coming back to the United States and experiencing a complete lack of that. So I snagged this little Airbnb. This is pretty close to one of the main city centers and consequently one of the places that they filmed a few scenes from The Italian Job. This is from 3 days of experience, so don't judge me too much. Staying in Venice is a great opportunity to experience a perceived Italian lifestyle of enhancing one's day with enjoyable micro experiences, commonly in the form of microtransactions at coffee shops, restaurants, and bars. This is easy to do because everything is small: the coffee, the croissants, the dishes. I found myself using the things around me to enhance my day rather than define it. And it's common to see both tourists and Italians enjoying these things throughout the day. I'd also like to take the second to mention the coffee. It's dark AF. Italian roast is darker than French roast, which is darker than anything I generally appreciate as a snobified single origin Seattleite, but I actually kind of like it. It's sort of like drinking turbocharged Ferrari exhaust juice, but I mean that in a really good way, a good way. It's also tiny. If you ask for un cafe, they're going to give you an espresso shot, unless you're American and they'll think you want a cup of drip coffee. I had to prevent them from doing this a couple times. It's also very inexpensive, which makes it very easy to be able to get out of your Airbnb and go work in a cafe if you'd like to. That is if you can deal with the internet, which is unfortunately very slow here. I don't blame them though, the city's in the middle of the water, but I haven't found a good spot to sit down and play a nice lag-free game of PUBG, and uploading to SoundCloud is pretty abysmal. A couple things I didn't expect. The city's actually fairly quiet in parts. In some areas I mistakenly thought it was an abandoned part of the city. They have these window covers, which I actually have on my windows, that allow you to close the window and shut all light out completely. A lot of people leave these closed, and so I mistakenly thought that many of the buildings were abandoned. There's also graffiti to go with the aesthetic, but I find that really educational. There are some parts that actually remind me a tiny bit of Asia. The smell is one of them, and this is probably due to the fact that there are fish markets, and that leaves fish juice on the cobblestone. There are also your typical seedy tourist spots where someone's selling cheap crafts or something fried, which in this case is cheese. Other than that, it's pretty dope. Being here reminds me that my life is an experience, and I can choose what I want to do with that experience or how to enhance it.